Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon, and today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. This is a huge game in some circles simply because of the IP, but in many other circles it's just a really good system of playing cards that give you actions, and then a lot of those actions involve dice. So there's card play, there's dice chucking. It's essentially an area control game here. There's just these 4 locations, and we need to make sure that they don't get overrun by Putty patrollers and the monsters and bosses. And slowly, as we defeat more and more Putty patrollers, we'll start to gain our Zords, the big machines, for anybody not familiar with Power Rangers. And then hopefully we can bring out the Megazord during the final battle. So just a brief overview of how the game works is, first of all, essentially you are given actions on your turn as a ranger, and you can see here that I'm actually buddying up my rangers, and I'll explain that in a second. But these tokens here represent the actions that I am allowed to take on my turn, and there's 3 very basic things you can do on your turn. The first one is move, and you can move anywhere. Even if I'm here at Angel Grove, I can jump over here. So move to any other location on the board is one action you can take. Initiate a battle against Putty patrollers or a monster is another action you can take. And then the third one is recover. So recover usually means that you can take back into your hand 6 shields worth of cards, and I'll explain that better in a minute. But essentially you're not getting your whole discard pile back, you're just getting some back. You do, however, have the option of moving back into the command center, which is where all of my rangers are right now, and if you do, you power up, and that means you get all of your cards back in your hand. But it is going to take you 1 movement to go in there, and then another movement to come back out. So powering up once you're in there is a free action. It automatically happens, but if you think about it, it's going to take you 2 move actions to do it, in and then back out. So if you're in an area that you want to stay, it might behoove you just to say attack, recover, and then attack again. Say there's a lot of Putty patrollers in here, you don't get them all in the first battle, you recover, and then you get them all in the second battle. So just strategy wise, it's something to think about. So very simple right off the bat, those are your actions that you take. The only turn necessarily that the enemy gets in the main phase is the deployment phase, which is at the beginning. Once we have spent all of our actions, we'll move into a new round. We'll deploy out Putty patrollers into the area, and then they just kind of sit there and wait for us to initiate the contact. Then when we initiate contact, we will draw from special decks, depending on whether they're super Putty patrollers, or the monsters, depending on how many we're battling at one time. And we can battle up to 4 Putty patrollers, and then in addition 1 monster. We will put 1, 2, 3, 4 cards out here, and they will look very similar to our cards, and the AI will just go from left to right, taking them out. Well, for us, what we want to do is to be able to damage the card per se, and you'll see that each enemy card has like a health value on it. You want to be able to do an amount of damage to that card, so you flip it over and nullify it. And when you defeat a card, you can pull a figure off of the board. The figure is really just a representation of how crowded the board is. You pull the figure off the board, and you're going to add it to this track. So if you can strategically think about, or strategically take out the enemy AI cards, you can take them out as they're about to activate. And I'm going to use this token here to move down the line so you guys can see which card is activating and then which card's next. And the AI is always going to go down the line, so even if it comes to a card that's been flipped over and nullified, then the enemy misses that turn. It's like they swung and they missed. So that's kind of the goal, is to get ahead of the enemy and knocking out their cards before their cards activate. As you defeat enemies, we're going to fill up this track right here, and anytime it is full, we will wipe it clean. We'll get a Zord card at random here, and it doesn't matter who we're playing with, we'll give the Zord card to one of the two pairs. We don't have to give the yellow one to the yellow player, and we're not playing with the pink ranger, so even if the pink ranger's pterodactyl comes out, we still get that card. We'll simply move this over one, and this really just shows us how close we are, because once we get to here and we fill up the board, the Megazord can come out. So those are the basic rules. We win the game if we are able to draw out the boss. So we'll have to go through a bunch of Putty Patrollers, 2 monsters, and then the boss, which has been seeded into the lower quarter of this deployment deck over here. If we can draw her out, which is Rita Repulsa, she's the only boss in the base game, and defeat her, then we win. If, however, the enemies occupy so much of the territory that each territory in here becomes panicked, then we lose. So you can see each area has a number here. So 6, 6, 5, and I know this one's off camera, but that one's a 5 as well. So if you have 5 figures, enemy figures, in, say, Angel Grove High, it becomes panicked, and we'll put this token right there over top of the number. If all 4 of these become panicked, then we lose the game. If, however, you have even just a single monster or boss in an area, even if the number has not been met, that area is panicked too. So you could have 1, 2, 3 areas panicked, and this one be completely empty, but if a boss is deployed here, then you lose. I can't remember whether or not you get the rest of your turn to try and take care of business. I think that's been a point of discussion on the forums, and I think that normally I play that, yes, I am allowed 1 more round, 3 actions for each team, to try and control the situation, because it is random per se where the enemies are deployed, and the deployment deck really just could screw you over. But you'll see once we start doing deployments that once one area fills up, then overflow goes to the next one. So if it's gotten that bad, more than likely you were going to lose anyways, but we'll tackle that hurdle when we get to it. So all right. So normally this is a game that can be played with up to 5 players. There's 5 rangers, and each person controls their own ranger. Well, in a solo game, you have the option of either running, 2 or 3 rangers, 2-handed, 3-handed, whatever it may be. But this actually is the setup that is described for a 2-player game. They say to buddy up 2 rangers each, and so each person will control 2 rangers, and you're going to combine their decks into one mega deck. So instead of a 10-card deck, each team has a 20-card deck, and I'm going to pull out red cards and blue cards and play them together. And it really isn't going to matter, because these 2 are always going to travel together, and these 2 are always going to travel together. So they're always going to work as a team. I don't ever have to worry about splitting them up or who's in a battle. When one initiates a battle, they all initiate the battle. So what I like about this is that I get 3 actions per team, but that was a setup for a 3-person game. 2 if I wanted to play 3-handed, but also the larger deck size I think is nice for 2 reasons. One is that your deck essentially is your health meter. If your deck ever runs out of cards, then you are defeated. Your ranger dies or whatever, and I guess in this instance both of them die. In certain game modes you can have tokens in the middle that if somebody's knocked out, they go back to the command center, they're revived, blah blah blah, but we don't have any in this particular game. The second thing is that you're gonna there's a greater possibility, because there's just that many more action cards versus some of the more passive cards that don't have an attack are going to be present, and you get a bigger hand size. That's the last thing, is that I'm going to get to draw up to 7 cards in this mode as opposed to 5, which is the standard. So that pretty much covers everything. Again, I'm playing with 2 rangers. They have basically a shared pool of energy. There's going to be 3 energy in the command center each time at the beginning of each battle, and they each get 3 actions. So there are some differences. If you're watching this and you're familiar with the base game and playing with like 4 or 5 players, that's mainly the differences. I'm playing with 2 combined decks and 2 teams that are going to fight and move as one. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, every round starts with a deployment phase. So this first card doesn't matter, but as we flip it over, we can see we've got 2 Super Putty Patrollers, and they're going to go to Ernie's Juice Bar. So boom, boom. Then, and we always do 5 enemies, we have 2 Putty Patrollers going to the Industrial District. Boom, boom. Then we have a Super Putty Patroller going to the Industrial District. That's 3, 4, 3 Super Putty Patrollers going to Angel Grove High. Boom, boom, boom. And last deployment is, okay, 2 Super Putty Patrollers. Literally almost out of Super Putty Patrollers over here. In the Industrial District. So we can see here now that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we're not quite there yet. So luckily the Industrial District can handle a bigger audience than, say, the rest of these. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do. We're done with these cards for now. Put this deck off to the side, keep it as is. And now we need to decide what we're gonna do. Obviously we need to move out of the command center. And one of the rules of the game is that anybody that's in a district or a space can initiate an action, a battle, as one of their actions, but anyone else who's also in that space can, looks like he's like leaning back there too really far, can participate in the battle without spending an action. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make things very crowded, is that I'm going to move everybody. And yes, I do like to pose my fun characters here in battle action. Da, 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 because really they just, this is really kind of a card game and dice game, but the miniatures are like an added bonus. So I had to move with both of them, so I have to flip 1 action token for each team, and then we're going to say that Jason and Billy here initiate the battle. So I'm going to draw up to 7 cards. 5, 6, 7. But these guys are also going to participate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and they get to participate for free. So there are reasons why you might not want to participate, you know, if you're getting low on your deck or whatnot, but at least for right now, and with this being definitely the most crowded area, we're just going to see what we can do here together. So the way we then pick the enemy cards is that we can only ever take on 4 Putty Patrollers, I think I mentioned this already, at a time. So I could take on 1, 2, 3 Super Putties and 1 regular Putty, or I could, you know, I think what I'm going to do is 2 and 2. So I have my 2 special decks, and so I'm just going to draw 1, 2 cards here. Now it just so happened that this card came out first, but you can see it has the fast keyword here. Anytime you have a fast keyword, it's going to go to the front of the line. And guard means that this card is untouchable until this card is defeated. So it always guards the card that comes after it. So those are mainly, I think, the only keywords that you have to worry about. Oops. All right, so then 2 Putty Patrollers. So another guard card and passive. Okay. All right. So what we have here is fast indicates that they have initiative per se, so they're going to get to go first. I'm not going to be able to take out this card until I do this one. That's fine, and this one. So, but I could go ahead and jump right here. But this is probably the worst one. Deal 1 damage. Increase this damage by 1 for each foot soldier in this location. So there's 5 there. So dealing 6 damage to one team is pretty brutal. So this is definitely going to be what we're going to go after first. All right, but since they have initiative, they're going to go ahead and activate this card. It's face up, so we have to do it. And it's going to say drain 1 crystal. Now, one thing I forgot to do is that anytime you initiate a battle, you're supposed to put 3 energy crystals into HQ there as a shared pool for anybody that's participating in the battle. So this one doesn't say each ranger, it simply just says drain 1, so somebody's going to have to lose a crystal, but that's fine. Alright, so now it's my turn. Now, I need to choose which team is going to take the action. They don't both get to take the action. I just get 1 ranger turn. So let's figure out who's got something that can be almost guaranteed to take out this right here. So let's see here. Precise strike. Now she's going to be attacking with 2 dice. Oh no, this is just a straight up attack 2. So 2 attack right off the bat. After you play this card, you may spend 1 crystal to shuffle it back into your deck. Okay. And here you can see along the bottom the shields I was talking about earlier. Now these shields will come into play when we have to defend against an attack, and I'll cover that when the time comes. But you can see here that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 3 cards putting back into my hand would be 6 shields worth of cards. So Power Axe, after rolling, choose 2 dice from this attack and deal that much damage to each enemy card adjacent to the target. Oh, I forgot this one is guarded by this one, so I need to deal damage here before I can get to this one. So, that one's possibly good because then I could put some damage on that. One thing... she doesn't have anything. One thing that's really nice about the Yellow Ranger Trini is her ability says once per battle I can basically play back-to-back cards if they are the same name, but unfortunately I shuffled my deck really well and I don't have any duplicates in here. So Power Daggers, after you resolve the stack, a ranger of your choice may immediately play 1 card. This is very expensive though. This is going to cost 3 energy to play. So that would be, I chucked her energy not thinking about it. 2 of these at least, and this one. And then I would not be able to play Power Axe. So this one could work because it's only dealing 1. Alright, so let's see what these other guys have. And after I go over all these cards the first time, we'll definitely play quicker. So, defense. That's 4, but that's not doing anything. Play this card when any ranger suffers damage. We're going to need that. The next time any ranger performs an attack during this battle, add 1 die to the attack. Power Sword. The next time any ranger performs an attack. So this is another really beefy one, but it's not going to get us there. The only option I have is, so we're going to go for it, is to play Power Daggers. So we're going to go ahead and play Power Daggers. We need to spend 3 energy, and so what I'm going to do is take all 3 from here. Now, I get to roll 4 dice. So, I've got my 2 Yellow Ranger dice, and we'll also roll our 2 Black Ranger dice. And I am essentially looking for these burst symbols. There's 2 hits on some sides, but there's also misses on 2 of the sides. So I'm looking for 2 damage to be able to take out this guard card. This is super overkill, but it's going to allow me somebody to play a card next. Hopefully somebody from this team, because it's any A ranger of your choice. Oh no! So, yes. Unfortunately, we missed, but Jason Lee Scott, once per battle, a ranger of your choice may re-roll any number of dice during an attack. I'm going to go ahead and use that. That's his special skill. I just need 1. There we go. That's all I needed. Oh, so they're all going to hit now. Okay, barely got it. So, what I'm going to do is flip this one over. I've defeated one of the Super Putty Patrollers, so I actually get to pull him off and put him over here. Now, this card's going to go over here in my discard pile. One other ranger of my choice can make an attack, trying to get to 3, but I need to be able to afford it. So this 3 card is out, and this other 3 card is out. These 3 are all not going to cut it because they're reactions. So I think it's going to be this one. 1 die plus 1 attack. 2 attack. Yep. This is our best chance to get 3 hits. So, we are going to spend 1 to do this attack. I get my 3 dice, and I'm looking, unfortunately, for 3 hits. So, we'll see. Yes! We did it! Go, go, Power Rangers! All right, so there you go. We got ahead of the system, but we pretty much spent all of our energy. So it is now the Putty Patrol's turn. This simply moves, and they don't have a card to activate. So it's back to me. I need some really cheap play here. And again, it doesn't matter. Even if I was playing multiplayer, we don't need to go around the table. I could keep hammering away with Jason and Billy, or keep hammering away with Trini and Quan. It really doesn't matter. But whoever I play a card from, the Putty Patrollers are going to go next and deal 2 damage to somebody. So let's see what we can do here. Before rolling, you may discard the top card of your deck to add 2 dice to this attack. That one's pretty good. So let's play this one, because I know there's not much over here. So Reckless Blow. I'm going to have to spend 1. That's the last one on this team. I get 2 dice. All right. But I can discard the top card of my deck, which is fine. Although Smooth Moves is a good card. To add 2 dice to this attack. So now we're rolling 4, trying to get 3. There's 1, 2. There's the 3rd. That's all needed. 4th. Boom. Alright, so we are doing pretty good. This one is spent. And you can see once you kind of get used to things, it's going to move a lot faster. So we defeated a Putty Patroller. He gets to come off. Boom. They don't have anything to activate, so it's back to us. Alright, this one is not going to hurt us so much. This one would have done increased the damage. So even it just sitting there, it could have hurt us. But since they actually did not attack us at all, this hasn't come into effect. So it's not even going to attack us when the token gets to there. But we are only going to be given 1 more turn after they play their last card to try and defeat them. And remember, the name of the game here is clearing out these districts as much as possible to keep them from getting panicked. So I definitely don't want to lose my chance of being able to take out and leave just 1 guy behind. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is play Counter Jab. And I just realized I was mixing up these cards over here. All right. Counter jab doesn't cost anything. I get to roll a single die, and I automatically get 1 hit. So I really just need 1 hit off of this to do the job. There we go. These are very chunky dice, very big, thick, but they're fun to roll. All right, so we did what we needed to do. Flip this over, they activate, boom. I could take another turn, but I don't see why not. Okay, so I get to move another Putty Patroller over here, and that's it. We now shuffle these. These are gonna go back into their deck. They don't get discarded or anything, so we could see them again the next time we take on a Putty Patroller, but we have now cleared out this area of all but 1 Putty Patroller. So now we have to make a decision. Do we take on this guy? We could with all 4, but I think that that would be a bit much. So what I'm going to do here now is move Trini and Zach over here. All right. They are now going to take on, so they moved, and they're going to initiate an attack against 3 Super Putty Patrollers. So again, we shuffle this whole deck up so we don't just see the exact same cards again. All right, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. You can see this one has the fast keyword though, so it's gonna get pushed to the front of the pile, and they're gonna get to go first. All right, so at the start of battle, we get 3 energy tokens, which is good because they have none. And I also get to draw up to 7. Now this is optional. I could draw 6, 5, up to 6, 5, depending on whether or not I wanted to drain my deck. Because remember, this is my life force, but I've got a pretty good sized deck, so I also want to have lots of good options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and draw up to 7. All right, so let's see what we're added here. We added Twin Fang Teamwork. Play this card after another ranger resolves an attack to deal 1 damage to the target of that attack. So this is nice. It's free. I can play this quickly to basically be able to finish a guy off. And Sabertooth Strike, which is going to give me 2 dice. If this attack defeats the target, you may immediately perform a second attack with 2 dice. So I think this is what we're going to start with, because maybe we can get lucky and boom and boom. It would take a lot to get to here, but at least we'll take out 1 Putty Patroller, so this attack won't be so bad. All right, I definitely want to get rid of that one because that one's going to add a Super Putty Patroller. Okay, so they're going to get to go first. Forgot about that. We're going to drain this, and all right, I'm going to get my 2 yellow dice and just hope that I get 2 successes here. There we go. That's all I needed. So boom. Get to remove 1, add it over here, and then I get to immediately perform a second attack with 2 dice. I will be going after this one. Oh, that's okay though. I still get to do 1 damage. So I put a damage counter on it. It is going to activate, but I only have to do 2 damage on it next time. So they get to go. Deal 1 damage. Increase this damage for 1 for each. Increase this damage by 1 for each foot soldier in this location. So this is actually a 3 damage attack. So this is how taking damage works in the game. Let me just check. So what I'm going to do here actually is play this block card, because I'm pretty sure I can play this and I don't have to be in their location. It doesn't specify. So it says play this card when any ranger suffers damage to reduce that damage by 3, and that would be 3. So that would be zeroing it out. It didn't cost me anything. It's a reaction, so I can play it anytime. And we're good. Normally, I would have had to reveal a card off the top of my deck, and if it had an equal or greater amount of shields than the damage, say I revealed this one, then I would get to put that card back on top of my deck because I blocked it. Say, however, I revealed this one. Well, that wasn't cutting it, so I would have to take this. I would have taken 1 damage off, but then I would have had to reveal another card. Say I reveal this one, it's greater than or equal to, it's greater than 2, which is the remaining, so I'd get to put this card back. But say I revealed another number 1, I'd lose that card, and then I'd have to defend just a single attack. So it'll make more sense when you see me actually do it. So, all right, we blocked that. I want to go ahead and take care of this one before it activates. So let's see what we got here. Not a whole lot. This one, however, might be what we need. This attack deals an amount of damage equal to the amount of crystals spent to play this card. You may divide this among any number of targets. Well, that's perfect because I actually only have 2 crystals to spend, so I don't have to roll any dice, which is perfect. It's like a true strike, and I can hit this one because this doesn't have guard. So I can go ahead and jump ahead in line and take this one out. Now, when the enemy's turn happens, they don't get to put another Putty Patroller out, and I should have put this guy out. And I have filled this up, so I get to take all these guys back. And I get the top Zord card. Boom, boom, boom. All right, blue Triceratops. This says exhaust this card to allow any ranger to choose up to 2 cards from their discard pile and return them to the top of their deck in any order. So this is quite nice. Essentially, we all share these. So I'm just gonna, I need to find some place to put it. We'll put it up there for now. And that can be used once per round. So I'll flip it over, but then anytime we're in a new round, I can exhaust it again. So it's like a little mini heal. All right, so they activated, they had nothing to do. So it's our turn. We have 1 final turn to try and put 2 damage on this. Otherwise, we leave a single putty hanging out in this area. So, what can we do? Attack 2. After you play this card, you may spend 1. Yep. This is it. All right. Precise Strike. After you, it costs nothing. It's a 2 damage, so no dice rolling. I don't have to worry about dice rolling. After you play this card, I could spend a crystal to shuffle it back into my deck, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's simply going to give me the 3rd amount of damage on this card right here. I flip this over, and boom. Oh, I forgot to move that over. There we go. All right. And that was the end of that. Okay, and we're still in round 1. But, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and initiate a battle against this lone Super Putty Patroller. So, this is going to be very quick. But, essentially, he gets 1 card. Alright, good. It's not fast. So that means I'm going to get 2 turns, essentially. I've got 4 cards, so I can draw 3 more. Why not? 1, 2, 3. And I get 3 crystals added to, I think the crystals actually are supposed to go over here, to the board. So I need to be able to do 3 damage right now. And I think it's going to be this one. Tyranno Slash. Yep. I get to roll 3 dice, and I can re-roll any number of dice during this attack. So let's get the right dice out, and I need 3 hits. There's 1, 2, 3. That's all I needed. Perfect. Boom, boom, boom. Easy peasy. All right. So this goes out. So we have exhausted both of our teams. We have no actions left. So at this point now, we'll leave those up there. We flip these all back over. Boom, 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 boom. We do not get new charges unless we are going to recover, but we do need to send out some more foot soldiers. So, all right, we actually have our first monster. So what you see here is normally we have 2 super putties. So 2 super putties are going to be joining somebody here, and they're going to be joining Pudgy Pig. And now we have our location, Angel Grove Park. So here's Pudgy Pig. In my opinion, probably the most ridiculous villain in Power Rangers. And so those guys have come out there, and that's just one activation, unfortunately. So here's two regular Putty Patrollers in the juice bar. Okay. This is 3. 1 Putty Patroller in the Industrial District. 4. 2 Super Putties in the park. Okay. Ooh, and I forgot that the Pudgy Pig automatically makes this one panicked. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 3 Putty Patrollers in Ernie's juice bar. Okay. So this is definitely now. Hold on. I forgot something here. So they came out and these guys automatically made this panic. So you are not supposed to add any additional people into a panicked area, and it clockwise they would have spilled over to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 would have gone here. See, this is how quickly things can get out of control in this game. And then the third one would have come here. Then we would have tried to put these 3 guys into here. They wouldn't have fit, so they go right here. That way there's never this like uncontrollable amount of characters in one space. But we now 1, 2, 3, 4. We are very close to having 3 out of the 4 locations in panic. So let's see what we want to do here. I think it's going to be very straightforward. I think we need to get rid of Pudgy Pig. So I'm going to take an action each. Boom, boom, and each team's going to heal. So like I said before, healing or recovering, you are going to gain a charge if you don't have one. Boom, boom, boom. And here's my discard pile for this team. I can pull back 6 shields worth of cards. So I've got my power daggers. They're very expensive. I definitely like precise strike. So there's 2. I also like saber-tooth strikes. So here's 4. So power daggers is no longer an option. Smooth moves is nice. Let's see, before rolling you may discard, but this one's even better. 5, and that'll allow me to get this one too. So, all right, let me just check. Make sure, where do these cards go? Recover, choose cards from your discard pile until 6, then shuffle these cards back into your deck. That's what it is. They don't just go on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These will get shuffled in. Okay, and then over here, I haven't spent nearly as many cards. So let's see, I've got a block already in hand, so I might not need two. That one's really nice. So is this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll just, yep, keep the block out. All right, so you can see that you don't always have to jump back into the command center to be able to do your recoveries, because that worked out pretty well. All right, so we've each healed. Now we're each gonna move, boom, boom, and everybody's gonna come over here and take on Pudgy Pig. Cha-cha. Cha-cha. Red Ranger doesn't always need to be the one taking on the biggest guy. Okay, so I have kind of put all of my eggs in one basket here, but I'm hoping to clear out this area so that it no longer is panicked. Then I essentially only have one area. Okay, so the way we do it with having Pudgy Pig involved is that he has his own special deck. So we're going to draw his cards first, and he draws 4 cards. And I need to be able to do 4 damage to him's worth of cards. So this could take more than one round. All right, fast, passive, guard, oog, nothing, and nothing. Okay. Then we need 2 Super Putty cards because there are 2 Super Putties. Boom. And boom. Okay, so if I am remembering correctly, and I think I am, this card not only guards this one, but it also guards that one. Let's see here. Salad Fork has the guard keyword, so Rangers cannot target the adjacent enemy cards. And flanking. Okay, yep. So, guard, it says, is protecting this one, and this one. This guard is protecting this one and this one. And guard cards can't guard other guard cards. So, I need to kind of go after these guys first. Alright, unfortunately, they have a fast card, so they have initiative. Pudgy's going to go first, but it's a passive. While this card is in play, Rangers cannot play cards with an energy cost greater than 0. Ooh, and that's got a health of 5. Okay, I forgot to draw up my hand. Okay. Alright, so what do we want to do first here? I guess try and take out this one. Yeah, deal 4 damage to the Ranger with the most cards in their hand. So, who can deal 3 damage? This one's nice. It does not cost 0, so it's free. I mean, it's legal. Or this one, but I probably want to save this one for one of those there. So, all right, or even this one. Okay. So we are going to play Power Axe. It's going to cost us 3. So, ooh, so expensive. 1, 2, 3. All right, I get 3 dice after rolling. I get to choose 2 dice from this attack and deal that much damage to each enemy card adjacent to the attack. So I'm going to be able to hit both of these. Alright, so big numbers here. Let me get a couple doubles. Let's see it. That was not a double. That was a miss. No. Okay. So that's fine. Not what I was looking for, but there those go. And then after rolling, choose 2 dice from this attack and deal that much damage to each enemy card adjacent. So this is a good little spread here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So there we go. Not a bad attack. Just didn't do what I wanted it to do. So they get to go. Boom. Deal 4 damage to the ranger with the most cards in their hand. That's now these guys. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is play my block, which I kind of have my other block card in my hand. Play this when any ranger suffers damage, reduce that to 3. So I'm only taking on 1, and I just reveal this card. Boom, I see 2 shields, so I get to put it back. All right. Now it's my turn. I still need to get rid of this, or this essentially, or I could try and go after this one. So maybe we just put all our marbles out now, spend pretty much the rest of our crystals to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. Boom, boom, boom. 1, miss, 2, 3. All right, this needs to hit. Yes, all right, we got it. Okay, so this guy's taken out. Boom, that's fine. I don't move Pudgy over or anything like that. Oh, and I just need to remember I get to add 2 dice to the next attack. So this moves over, deal 3 damage to 2 different rangers. Unfortunately, that's going to be both of us. So we're going to, I don't have any more block cards, I don't think. Nope. Okay. More block cards over here. All right, so I'm taking 3 damage to this team. All right, so that didn't do it, so I lose that one. I'm only down to 1 damage though. That did it, so I get to put that card back. Over here, same thing. 3. I have to chuck that one. 1. Got that one. Okay. So now it's my turn, and I wish I had something that did some splash damage. Okay, Sweeping Strike. I like this one. Okay, so well, hold on. While this card is in play, Rangers cannot play cards with an energy cost greater than 0. Oh, cannot play. Whoops. Okay. I misread that card. I apologize, but I'm not going to go backwards and redo all of this. That'd be too much. Way too much of a pain. So, I need to be playing all my cheap cards. That's what it is. Okay. Couple lead the charges. Sweeping Strike. If there are 4 or more cards in your discard pile, which there are, add 1 die to this attack. So I like that. We'll play this one. So it's free, and I get to roll 3 dice. I guess we are just gonna have to keep going after This one. Yep. Alright. Okay, so that's all we needed. That's fine. So this guy is done. Boom, boom. So the guard is gone. Oh, and I should have been able to roll 2 extra dice, so forgot about that. Okay. So, let's see here. He's going to activate and nothing happens. Okay. So how can I get rid of him now? So I need to hit this one, but also that one. I basically have no more... nothing left really to spend, so let's do lead the charge. 2 dice here. I'm gonna go after this one. Yes, because no, can't do that. Do I have any duplicates here? Sweetie, sure. No, I can't play that one yet. Okay. Yep. All right. Add 1 die to the next text. That's fine. Looking for 2 hits. Oh, there we go. Boom, boom. Crushed it. All right. No, wait. That was this one I was going after because it has the guard keyword. Okay, so I get to remove a super putty. Boom, boom. Okay, and next time I get to add a die. Gotta remember to do that. Once per battle, ranger of your choice may draw 1 card, then place 1 card. Nope. Once per battle, after you defeat an enemy with an attack, you may deal 1 damage to another enemy card adjacent to your target. Okay, so I should have been able to do this last time when I defeated this one, put 1 there. So I'm definitely gonna do that. Alright, so I've used that. Let's just do this. Boom, I've used his thing. Okay, so that was my attack. They come down here, nothing. Now, I need to take care of this. I could leave 1 putty on the board, but as long as I can get rid of Pudgy Pig, the area becomes unpanicked. So, let's see what we can do here. Oh, but this is gonna add 1 other super putty patroller to the location. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Let's see here. Gosh. I can just clear out the whole place. Lead the charge. Probably work. And then I could do Mammoth Slam to finish it off. Okay, so let's do that. We're gonna do lead the charge. It's gonna give me 2, but my last card allows me to add a dice here. So I just need 2 hits, and there they are. Boom, overkill. So I took this one out, keeping that putty patroller from deploying. And then they're gonna get to go, and I get 1 more turn, and I'm gonna play Mammoth Strike for free, which is 2 attack, 2 dice here, plus a 3rd from lead the charge, and let's see, if there are 4 more cards in the discard pile, add 1 die to this deck. Yes. All right, so I just need 2 hits out of 4 dice. All right, boom. Plenty. All right, so this ended up being pretty successful. I took some hits, but we essentially did 4 hits on Pudgy Pig. So we have knocked him out. Now, what happens here is that Pudgy Pig comes off the board. This location is no longer panicked, but I also get to advance this automatically for defeating a monster or mini boss, however you want to call it. So I'm gonna get another card. Boom, Pterodactyl. Exhaust this card during battle to gain 2 energy. That's pretty nice. Okay, so take this off now. What I want to do here now, I have one action left with Trini and Zach over here. And I want to get myself in the right position, so I'm going to use some of my Zords here. So I'm going to exhaust Triceratops to allow the Ranger to choose up to 2 cards in their discard pile and return them to the top of their deck in any order. So I really liked these 2 Mammoth Strikes here. Mammoth Slams. So I'm going to take these 2 cards, it doesn't matter, and boom, put those right back there. And I'm also going to exhaust the Pterodactyl to gain 2, which technically doesn't matter. Remember, I'm not. It doesn't hurt me that I'm using these because this round is about to end. And then I'm going to spend my final action to move these guys over here so they are ready to go in the next round. Okay, but we are going to pause here for right now. This is a good stopping point, I feel like, and we will pick the rest of this up in a second video if you would like to see how this plays out and whether we're victorious or not. Please join us for Act 2 or Part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to make sure you are notified when the finale video of Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid drops, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great night.